Cartel, my people, my babies, my dogs, what's going on with you boys, man? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Golden Ghost, and welcome back to the Golden Ghost Cartel, dude, baby boy. And today, as you guys can see, my Elden Ring peoples, my Elden Ring and my Dark Souls homies, I am officially out of retirement, bro. I'm back in the streets, man, for some NightReign, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be when I first looked at this, bro. This is almost, as you could say, a DLC, bro. Same price and everything, bro. Like, you don't need to buy the base game to access it, bro. And it's only really one mode. However, I don't know how they've done it, but FromSoft found a way to take this one smaller scale game and they take this one mode and make it more fun than I ever could have imagined that it would be, bro. So just to give you guys some quick thoughts before we get into the rest of the video, man. In general, bro, I'm probably about 30 to 40 hours in, give or take, bro. I went into this with my brother. You know, I got my brother into it, and my brother's never played a Souls game before in his life, you know, just for context, you know. And I've been trying, you know, I've been getting him into it, and we've been playing together, and now it's getting to a point to where we're slowly starting to get like the hang of like the entire formula of how to optimize a run in order to beat the Night Lords without trying to, you know, think like a super sweat, which is actually something I'm going to try and make a casual try hard guide for regarding that later on this week, or later next week, my bad. Because, you know, I'm not too good at guides, but I'm real great when it comes to like taking complex information that these guys who already have like hundreds of hours into the game and put them in terms that even new people can understand, you know. But I digress on that, man. I really enjoy the aspect of being able to play with your friends and getting your friends into the game, because, you know, that's just going to amplify my experience no matter what. But even when you put that to the side, I feel like this is a mode that just requires more quote-unquote skill than the base game. And what I mean by that is that you can't really just go into the game and treat it like an RPG and get to, you know, rune level 300 and one-shot your way through the entire game. You know what I mean? Not to say there's anything wrong with that in base game, but you just simply can't do that, and you can't expect that of NightReign. You know, you can't just expect to just grab a certain weapon each run that's going to guarantee you a victory screen. You know, every weapon's random, and sometimes you can get weapons that are really strong, really busted, and other times you can end up with basic weapons, you know, that's basically going to force you to rely on your core knowledge of the game to win, you know. And I had to do this with my brother on the first boss that we defeated together, where I basically had to fight the triple head dog boss. I call him Cerberus. You have to fight Cerberus, and and I had my basic weapon the entire time, and my brother had Elden stars at his disposal, you know. And it's this random factor that forces you to not only coordinate with your team, but also learn a way to play effectively, and that allows you to basically go for whatever class that you want with little to no worry, because you can play however you want as long as it, you know, suits the class, you know. And I don't really think that there's a class that's really a definitive best, because everyone is strong. It really just depends on how well you play the character itself and how well you understand the character that you chose, you know. I really enjoy that, and it's why I chose to pick up Recluse and learn her like officially. Like, I wanted to pick her up anyway because she's a dark-skinned woman with white hair, and if you've been on the channel long enough, do you know any woman that reminds me of Storm from X-Men is immediately getting put on my radar. But like, I was kind of nervous about the whole mage thing, because mages are kind of like unbearably busted in the base game, since, you know, you reach a certain level and you get enough spell combinations and you could basically just hit the boss with a beam and one shot the boss, bro. And then, you know, that's just gonna be boring, bro. Or PvP, where people was just doing star showers, and it was just hitting you with star showers the whole game, you know, and getting free wins off people in PvP, just doing that the whole time, you know. Pretty boring. The closest thing that I came to for a mage build in base Elden Ring was an intelligent strength hybrid build for PvP, because I got bored myself with how easy things were when I was on my Black Flame God build, you know, the build that basically is like my favorite. But I was trying to prevent myself from getting bored, but man, that's just not the case here, bro, because it's like, yeah, Recluse is strong and she can absolutely pump out massive damage, but depending on how well you played and the level that you were, you know, leading up to the boss, how good your level and how good your weapon levels were, those will ultimately determine how well you and your teammates will, you know, perform during the boss. And I just really enjoy that, bro, especially as someone who didn't really want to jump into the PvP aspect of Elden Ring again for a little bit, bro. You know, I'm still kind of on retirement for that portion, but it's like, that being said, man, it's like the game is great, but it's not perfect by any means, right? Because it's like there's no crossplay, there's no voice chat, and that's just really killing me, because now if I want to play with others, I have to test out the game, well, not only on PlayStation remote play if I want to stream it, but it's like I also can't play with my PC homies, bro, because I got this for PlayStation. Then you have solos and trios that are in the game, but no duos, which that just, it seems like such a weird decision. It reminds me of Apex Legends, where they had trios and duos but no solos. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, right? And as cool as the randomized weapons are, bro, as cool as the random aspect is, there's a couple things that I see that don't really feel so random because I see them so often. And one of those things specifically, not the weapons but the bosses, bro. The randomized bosses just seem like on the limited side, because I swear I've seen the Fell Omen and the 3 Tree Sentinels at least once every 3 runs, bro. I think they need to add more variety to the bosses, and they need to add more variety to the stones that buff characters. I think they need to add more variety to their effects, because the effects outside of character specific ones are extremely bare bones, like ultimate gauge +3, mana +3, you get HP restore when you attack with an axe, and just little stuff like that, right? I think they need to add more variety of that type of stuff, bro. And I feel like those are things that are already being looked into, because they already had a patch that recently came out that helped out solo runners. So all I can really do for my criticisms is just really just sit back and wait to see what they choose to do and how they go about it. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, bro. Those are all my thoughts on for Elden Ring NightReign, you know, in a nutshell. The gameplay you're seeing now is just me playing with some randoms, but I just so happen to get another dramatic finish for an Elden Ring boss, or for Elden Ring PvP. I don't know what it is, but I stay capable of being able to get real close calls, or being able to like get draws in PvP and PvE. I don't understand how I'm so good at that, but I got another one here, so it was nice little dramatic finish, bro. So that's all I really gotta say for you guys, man. If you guys enjoy this type of content, you guys want to see more, man, you already know what to do, man. Leave a like, comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff, man. And as always, subscribe for some more from the Golden Ghost Cartel. We got more Elden Ring NightReign coming, alongside some VF as always, and some retros, man. As long as you guys hit the like goal, I will continue that. I gotta check for God Hand, because God Hand did get a couple comments recently. I need to double check up on that. I got those, and then I got some other projects I'm cooking up as well, bro. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces, and enjoy the rest of this boss fight, man.
That was hard as shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Save that shit right now. Oh my god, bro. I don't like that on this motherfucker, bro.